enemies! Shatter them into 1,000 pieces!
Hello, Zebra here, and today I'll be figuring out if you could actually shatter the Big Daddies from BioShock. Now you're probably reading this title and wondering, Zebra, why did you name it Freezing the Big Daddies if you're gonna shatter them? Obviously, they can be frozen. Also, at the same time, let me explain what I mean by shatter them. So in BioShock 1, there are various plasmids you could use, and one of them is called Winter's Blast, which allows you to freeze enemies, and when they're in a frozen state, if you do enough damage to them, you can actually shatter them where they'll break apart into many small pieces, but they won't be lootable. And at the same time, you can do this with various enemies. So in this video, I'll be experimenting on the Big Daddies and seeing if you can actually shatter them with Winter's Blast, and I'll also be experimenting on a few of the other miscellaneous enemies like the turrets and the cameras. And also watch to the end because I actually try freezing Fontaine when he's in his form, and also I'll show several bugs and glitches that I encountered as well. With that all out of the way, now let's get started with the challenge. I also thought I mentioned that when I was recording this, I accidentally forgot to turn on my OBS when I was playing the beginning of the game, so the only footage that you guys are going to see is from Neptune's bounty all the way up to the ending of the game. And I am sorry for this. So, you don't unlock Winter's Blast until you get to Neptune's bounty, where you can buy it for a total of 60 Atom, which I basically did. And now we could basically start the challenge. After encountering Peach Wilkins, my worst nightmare then appears.
What was that? My friend, you are fucked.
Anyways, I tried freezing the Spider Splicer to see what will happen if you can be able to shatter it, but at the same time, it kept unfreezing. As you can see, I didn't really come up with a strategy to keep them frozen for a long time. Either way, you're not meant to kill the enemy since it flees from the player once you drain its health. Peach suggested that we do research on the Splicer even though I've played this game 3 freaking times, and while heading over there, I then encountered a Big Daddy, which then the Splicers kept attacking, and while they were doing that, I was basically gearing up my items so I could do enough damage to it in order to shatter it. Sadly, this failed since obviously I didn't do it correctly, which means attempt number 1, unsuccessful. After finding the research camera, we had to take pictures of various Spider Splicers, and I kinda went a little too overboard and a bit crazy to take pictures, almost to the point where I didn't want to attack anything at all because I wanted the perfect picture.
I'm just lonely! I'm lonely! Who's there?
I encountered the first one, which attacked me in a room full of multiple items, and it started throwing the meat hooks at me, which then I decided to use telekinesis to grab it and throw it back at it. You see? You see? How do you like it now, huh? Not so much. How do you think I feel about it? Anyways, I encountered another Big Daddy, which means attempt number 2 for trying to shatter it. I decided to place mines on the ground, that way so when I trigger it and I shoot a bomb at it, it will not only do extra damage to it when I freeze it. Anyways, I ended up freezing it, and then when I shot one last bomb at it, it actually shattered! Oh my god, guys, I did it! My experiment's over, I could end the video! Just kidding, the video's not over yet, guys. It just started 3 minutes ago. After getting Peach the photos, he then let me into his place, which then turned out to be an ambush. I decided to play smart by hacking the cameras so that they attack him instead of attacking me. And then after that, I decided to grab his mask with telekinesis and kept throwing it back at him. And then when I threw the barrel at him, it blew up. Oh my god, guys. I didn't think explosive barrels would exist! Before we go to the next level, we gotta head back to the Bife Spear at the beginning of the level, because that could take us back to Medical Pavilion. And the reason why we're going there is to freeze a Bouncer Big Daddy type. If you don't know, the only times you get to actually fight against these version of the Big Daddy is in the second level of the game, or if you wait all the way until the end of the game. And I'm not gonna wait that long to test out this experiment. So anyways, I headed back there to find one. The first attempt didn't go as it was planned since a Splicer jumped in and started attacking me, and also it failed again. Anyways, attempt number 2. But then an idea came to my head for a strategy. Basically, whenever you freeze an enemy, it freezes them for a period of time, so I thought, what if I constantly spam the button while I shoot at them? In this case, I would constantly be resetting the time for them while they're frozen. This actually worked. Ah, heck yeah, the test number 2 succeeded. Now we can head on with the rest of the game. Alright, so I'm not gonna bore you guys to death by literally doing commentary over some of the parts of the game, when literally you guys saw the title of this video and you guys wanted to see me freeze some of the enemies. So that's exactly what I will do. After making it to the smuggler's den to meet up with Atlas to save his family, I decided to bring this barrel for them for a present until I accidentally dropped it in. Oh my god, I feel so bad for what just happened right now. Is this why they tell you not to grab objects while you're doing something important? Even Andrew Ryan berated me after this by questioning who the heck I was. Anyways, time to talk about Arcadia. Arcadia, a place filled with plants, trees, teleporting people that once you freeze them and shatter them, they turn into floating bottles. Anyways, Ryan decided to destroy all the trees in the forest, and now we have to talk to the person that works for the Lorax. That being Julie Langford, who tells us to find roses in order for her to use it in order to revive the trees. I decided that I wasn't going to be attacking any enemies and ran through that room and grabbed the roses while taking a crap ton of damage. Anyways, Andrew Ryan found out that she was trying to save the trees, and then he decided to literally put poisonous gas in her room and kill her. And then she wrote some numbers on the window before she died. At first, I thought this was like some Danganronpa stuff and she was trying to write her killer's name on the wall with numbers, until I realized that Ryan was the one that killed her, so either way it made no sense. I then realized that she actually was spelling out the numbers for the safe. Since Cosmo isn't around, we now have to go find the ingredients in order to bake the item in order to save the trees. If you're wondering why I'm making so many jokes about Wanda from Fairly OddParents, that's because the person who voices her also voices the character that just died right now. I thought I'd mention that this is where I introduced my second favorite plasmid of the game, Instaswarm. I don't know why people don't like it. You just shoot bees out of your hand, they attack any nearby enemy. It's just so... Look, only people that don't like jazz don't like using this plasmid. After reviving the trees, we can now head to Fort Frolic, and this is where we encounter another Big Daddy type, that being the Elite Bouncer, where instead of it having a drill, it has a weird harpoon ding on its hand. This is also where Winter's Blast starts to lose its effect, and in order to make it be more powerful, you have to get Winter's Blast 2, which is basically an upgrade for it, and that's what I did. I also bought Instaswarm 2 because why the heck not? So I tested it out on the Elite Bouncer, and it basically worked, and as you can see, it could turn into ice pieces. Oh my god, guys, it's Sander Cohen! Holy crap, it's the man himself.
If you had become my one and true disciple, you might have been worthy of seeing inside the box.
Nothing interesting happened in the next level of the game, or the level where you confront Andrew Ryan, minus the plot twist. And sadly, you cannot turn Andrew Ryan into an ice sculpture, because he tells Jack to kill him with a golf club.
There ain't no Atlas, kid.
Olympus Heights is the one place where they add the last Big Daddy variant, that being the Elite Rosie, and just like earlier, you have to buy Winter's Blast 3 in order to make its effect work longer, and that's exactly what I did. Also, it could be shattered.
What is this you wait for? Go and get this idiot!
The security bots are also shatterable. But for some reason, stuff like the turrets, they do create the little tiny sprite that happens whenever you destroy an enemy that's been frozen, but at the same time, they're still lootable, which is really odd. I then decided to kill a splicer that was able to shoot ice particles at me. I could be the only one that could freeze enemies in this sea. And now, for the finale, Fontaine himself. So, is he shatterable? Can he be turned into 1,000 pieces when he's frozen in ice? The answer is no, not really. Sadly not. The whole boss fight works as like this. You basically have to drain his health bar, and then you gotta inject him and drain his atom from him. And if you try freezing him, he'll still break out of it, but as you can see, he has a lot of health, so I had to constantly freeze him and freeze him. But at the end, he never shattered. After that, the little sisters decided to defeat Fontaine, and oh yeah, I forgot, I got the bad ending. Anyway, so those were all the Winter Blast experiments I did for BioShock 1. So, the answer to the title of the video, yes, you can shatter some of the enemies in the game, mainly the Big Daddies, the Splicers, and the security bots, but stuff like the turrets and Fontaine, you cannot. Anyway, subscribe to the channel so you guys don't miss any uploads that I normally do, and at the same time, comment down below if I should do more gaming challenges and videos like this. Anyways, did you guys know that the original title for BioShock 2 would be called BioShock 2 Sea of Dreams? I don't know why the Sea of Dreams part was dropped from the main title when the game released. Anyways, expect sometime on this channel for me to make a facts video about this series.